Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is David Bateman. I am a TV film composer. You can actually find out more about me and my work at my website, davidbateman.net, or you can hit me up on my Instagram. That way you can learn a little bit more about me and the projects I'm doing a little bit behind the scenes, kind of like what I'm doing right now. So some of you messaged me that you would like to see a studio tour and see where it is that I work and how I put things together. So since I'm between projects right now, I figured this would be a great opportunity to do something like that. So as you enter my studio, which is in the basement of my house in Detroit, one of the first things you see are some movie posters of movies that I worked on. Mainly it's for my kids to see because they don't think Dad actually works on movies. One of the first instruments that you see in the corner here is a cello. I don't necessarily play the cello or anything, but like I said, I use it for sound effects on horror movies, The Dark Below being one of those movies. A couple of other instruments you'll see on my floor are my trumpets. The trumpet is one of the first instruments that I learned how to play back in 4th grade, and I still play it to this day. One of my guitars is a Baby Taylor. Play that quite frequently. In fact, I just used this instrument on a rom-com for the Hallmark Channel, which you will see a link for that soon. One of many keyboards that I owned back in the day is an M1 Korg. I actually had 3 of these, but I sold 2 of them, so now I only have 1. I use this when I go out on gigs and perform like that. My favorite instrument of all time is a Peavey Wolfgang. Not many of these exist anymore, so kind of a collector's item. Alright, moving on, we've got a ukulele. So when I do that corporate stock music, that's what you're gonna hear. I got a couple of basses. And I got a Fender classical guitar with a broken string. You know, that happens. And just for decoration, I've got decorative wall. I've got a Line 6 guitar amp, which I don't really use much these days. I've got a Ensoniq keyboard that, again, I only use this when I go out on gigs and that sort of stuff, which I really don't gig that much anymore anyway. And then I've got a violin. I use that for scary noises and such scary movies, again, this Cassidy way. Popular magazine in the Detroit area decided to do an interview on me in one of their issues. It's an October issue. They wanted to interview me about scary soundtracks and how I did that. Fun stuff. Yeah, so that was fun to do. I call this my operating table. Typically this is a little bit more cleared off. In fact, just moments ago, I spilled this wonderful cup of coffee all over the place, all over the floor. It managed to miss my laptop and miss any other equipment, so that was a bonus. However, it was a fresh new cup of coffee and I didn't get one sip in it, and this is all that is left. It's a sad moment. This computer I use for editing vlogs such as this video, and when I need to go out on the road, running all the software and projects that I work on my main computer. And I also do a podcast with a couple of neighborhood friends, and this is where we set up and do all that stuff. And then off to the right, there's my drum set. This is where I do some of my drum tracking. Yes, I play the drums myself. On that same rom-com that I was just talking about, where I was playing acoustic guitar, I played a lot of the drums myself on that film. And I have this laptop where I can see the movie. I don't place it there, I place it on a music stand, which is off to the side here. So this is basically where I sit and live for most of the day. This is a mixing board. I don't use this as much anymore. this area, these are my interfaces that I work with. I've got two computers that I use. I've got everything's PC. I use the bottom focus right there for the computer that I hold all my samples on. And so over here I've got another Focusrite. This is the Scarlett. This is hooked up to my DAW that I record on. It's all USB, whereas this one is firewired, the one on the bottom. However, this one seems to do the job. Does it great. And this is what I take when I go on the road and I have to have a mobile setup. This is easy to set up to my laptop. This is my Nano control that I use for volume control. Right now I've got a Pro Tools session getting ready to start. I'm actually spotting a film. So let me explain what the screens are. So these two screens are hooked up to my DAW. And the one that I have off right here, I need to, it's kind of a small monitor. I don't have this computer on right now, but that's where all my sample libraries are hooked onto. I run everything through Vienna with my contact. Up here is where I have my video monitor, which is running off my laptop over here, which is all connected to the Mode 2 Micro Express. So that's how I trigger that. Here's my MIDI controller. And I mean, this is pretty much it. Everything is controlled from this area. And oh, I do have a mandolin that sits over here in the back. Haven't been able to use that too much, but on the latest rom-com that I did, I used that. And I'll have a link of the soundtrack coming out soon, probably at the end of the month. So that's pretty much my studio. I don't really have much going on. I try to play as many live instruments as possible, like with the instruments that you saw here. The movies that I work on don't have a big enough budget to hire orchestras, so I've got to do as much as possible on my own, or I can hire a few musicians from time to time to work on the soundtrack. I'm under such tight deadlines with these movies, so it's kind of makes it a little difficult. So that's going to wrap it up for this video. Next video I'm going to get more into detail and explain my writing process and give an example of working on a couple of cues. But in the meantime, I'd appreciate it if you like and subscribe to my channel, and that way you won't miss any episodes, and hope to see you again soon. Thanks again for stopping by.